Blog Talk Radio.
I'm not looking for a so good. I had to come over and introduce myself. For starters, I'ma say hello, hello, then let the conversation flow. Hope you have some time, cause if so, girl, please don't go. Tell me what you like to do, and baby girl, when you get through, tell me, is it cool if we plan to spend some time, like going to the beach or whatever? But that all depends on the weather.
It's cold.
Or we can stay in if it's cold outside. Maybe that would be better.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On The Move Unscripted. But this is the ladies' roundtable discussion. And so, most Thursdays, almost all Thursdays, we get together about 8 o'clock. and we just have girl talk about whatever. And sometimes guys join in with us. And we usually have pretty good topics. And so, I got my girls on the line. So what's up, ladies?
What's going on, sister girl?
What's good? We're at Dr. Amarie. Is that Dr. Amarie on the line?
What?
Right.
What? Back in effect.
She's been missing that.
Okay.
Man, I'm so busy, let me tell you.
You said you've been busy?
Well, tell us.
Yeah, right. You know how this thing go right here. Tell us how you
I had 2 months of just straight work. Being in the modeling competition, and then we ran right into the holidays, and I got a new grandbaby, and then
Congratulations.
New Year's. I know, right? She's so cute.
Okay.
Oh,
she's
whenever y'all ready to share.
She's boring, but she's cute.
You said she's what?
Boring.
Boring.
Yes.
Did you say
wait till
boring?
Wait till she gets one.
I know, right?
That's when them terrible twos start, when they're one.
I'm excited about those times.
We definitely glad to have you back in the building. We missed you. We missed you, Dr. Amarie.
I missed y'all too. I'm glad to be back. Let's go.
Good. Okay.
So, what's up with you, Kim? How your week been?
Kind of quiet. I've been really keeping to myself, and I'm glad. The more I keep to myself, the more I can do for myself, and it's working out. Actually, it's doing really well for me. It's because it makes it productive. So I'm not like running from anybody, nothing like that. It's just how it's been set up. I just got a lot of time for me. So I've been able to just like revamp some things and rethink. I told you before I was contemplating on easing up off massage, doing my mobile massage, and I am going to do that. I'm gonna back up off that, the mobile part of it, and just keep in the office and do more of the counseling and making my products and healing the masses in a different type way. So I'm looking forward to it. But it's been good.
Oh, so
no more
house calls. No more house calls.
Yeah, I'm backing up off that. Like I still got a few clients, that I haven't let know yet. So I will, continue with the ones that I have for the moment. By spring, for real, you got to come to me. It's too much. So like I've been active since 2007. I've been mobile since 2009, and that it really takes a lot out of you. People don't think that it does. Like you just go to somebody's house, rub them, and be out. It's a lot that goes into that, and I got to be fair to myself and to my clients and make sure that I'm always giving them my 100. If it ever get to a point where I'm giving them even 90%, it's time to do something different. So I got to do it that way.
Okay. Well, you got to know when it's time for you to take a step back and recalculate and decide what's going to make your heart happy, what's going to make your spirit happy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't understand, even if you're, you might be a nurse, you might be a masseuse, a massage therapist or a teacher or whatever, but there may come a time in your career that you just like, I want to do something else. You know what I'm saying? My spirit is tired. I have given. I'm just ready for something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people like to make you feel guilty about wanting to change, change positions or change jobs or, whatever. But right. You got to do what makes you happy, because we spend too many hours of the day at a job to not be happy with doing what you're doing. And you can get burnt.
Right. And then like with me as a healer, it's just my healing encompasses more than just massage therapy. So now that I've touched over, several thousand people, It's, with my hands, I got to do it a different way now because I can only do so much in a day with my hands on people. I can reach people in a different platform to heal them spiritually or emotionally, and that's really what I'm pushing for. That's what I need to be doing right now. It's time for that.
Right. Okay. Well, you got to do what.
Man,
what
guilt
makes your,
must be the word.
You got to
for
do what
today.
makes your heart sing.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
what you say?
I said you got to do what makes your heart sing.
Indeed.
Yeah, you got to do what
was
makes
that Amarie getting ready to say something, or was that Misty getting ready to say something?
No, I was just saying that guilt must be the word for today. We started off some conversations this morning with that, and I actually have a group that I'm hosting tonight, and that's the topic that we're talking about, guilt and how to get off that bus.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we are getting ready to talk about that in an hour. So
I want to tell y'all about my week before we talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because my some stuff to, so we can go ahead and get my what I want to talk about out the way.
Okay. Yes,
all I want to say is, first of all, I had an awesome week, great week, wonderful week. Of course, I can't say that I was always into politics because I haven't been, and I'm not really going to say that I am. But when I lived in Chicago and I was able to, be one of the people on the campaign trail trying to help Kim get reelected the second time, I kind of started following, politics a little bit here and there. But who could not be pulled into all the drama over the last 4 years or so? So all I'm going to say, and this is all I'm going to say, and then we can go on and talk about guilt and all the other topics that are going to be just as interesting. But all I want to say is I'm trying to understand. Please help me to understand because maybe I just don't understand. I've been in the military. I'm a veteran, so I understand how, the military works, politics, all that kind of stuff. The fact that threats were made long in advance, we heard the threats. Everybody heard the threats. They wasn't trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying? The president said, I'm not giving up easy. It's not going to be an easy transition. I refuse. I'm not. He been saying it forever. It's like we all knew something was coming. Everybody knew something was coming. So I don't understand why they were not prepared for that. I don't understand why they weren't prepared. I don't understand why it is that with the Black Lives Matter movement, them officers was way ready, way prepared, even though there wasn't, always the need for all that. They were way, way ready. So why is it that when something as big as an attack on Capitol Hill has already been talked about, why were they not ready? Why were they not? Why? Why did all that happen? How were they able to get in? How were they able to break into? Why were they not prepared? Like, I don't understand that part. So hopefully, maybe y'all can explain it to me, or maybe over the coming weeks, when they have all these little hearings here and there, whatever, you can explain to me why they were not prepared, and why were they not prepared, and why was did we have a president that basically encouraged that? And why is he? It's just, why were they not prepared?
Let me ask you a question. Do you honestly feel, believe, be like, no, think, whatever word you want to put in there, that they were not prepared? Do you honestly believe
so what I
that
feel
they
like
were not prepared?
Okay, so maybe they knew, but they. So I guess what I'm trying to understand is, was it just a plan type thing? Because how were they able to just...
Everything is done deliberately. There's an agenda. We just don't know what the agenda is. There is never a coincidence. Okay? I don't pretend to act like I know everything about everything, because I don't. And when it comes to politics, I know even less because I care about that much. But there is an agenda. There's nothing that's going to happen in the government, near the Capitol, near the nothing that deals with the government that they're not going to know what's happening. Everything is planned out decades in advance. Everything. They know exactly what was going to happen. They knew exactly who was going to show up. They knew when they was coming. They knew what the plan was. They knew that they were supposed to let certain people in or let these people in at a particular time. They know what this is because it's part of their agenda. It's going to incite something else.
Normally, I would be like, no, Kim. But something about that just don't sit right with me. And not only that, but we're seeing pictures of some of the officers doing selfies. You just had a whole quote unquote terrorist mob break into the Capitol with weapons, and y'all doing selfies.
People are actors. You got to understand these people, and folks don't believe it. These folks are actors. You have professional actors in everything, in every industry, in the government, in everywhere. What is put in your face is deliberate. What's put in your face is deliberate.
MBJ Live is on my Facebook Live. MBJ Live is on my Facebook Live, and he's watching. He said, and he agrees with you, he says it was a plan. And then he said Washington, D.C. is not a state, which is part of the Roman Empire. Oh, Marv, I don't understand. What does he mean by that?
Don't go too deep with it. Don't go too deep with it.
Okay, never mind. I forgot. Never mind.
Yeah, don't go too deep with that right now. Just
okay.
All right,
okay. Marvin, Kim has given me the zip, so I can't go into understanding what you meant about that, but maybe another time. You know, I can't go too deep with Marvin anyway. Marvin always likes to go down the metal through the woods and break stuff down to the lowest common denominator, and so we ain't going to do that right now because Kim told me I don't want to break it down like that because then you might shut down.
We gonna mark this day on the calendar. Patricia listening to me.
Right.
And she agreed.
Right. Yeah, I'm not.
She agreed.
Because the fact that and then when I say, I'm going to say this in closing, and then we can go on and we can talk about, what was that, guilt and all that. We could talk on that. But I had to get this out of my spirit. So I first and foremost want to clarify for the listeners who heard me talking with Kenny yesterday that it was not the White House, it was Capitol Hill. That's for one. For two, being that I am prior military, and we're talking about something major like that has been nothing but conflict, and we all heard that phone call. So we knew that there was a warning. If this doesn't happen, then there's consequences. We understood that. Everybody heard that. It ain't no secret. So I, as military, don't understand why, with something that serious, with that kind of a threat, why were they not prepared in the same fashion that they were prepared when Black Lives Matter protested? You know what I'm saying?
And then look at the difference in the dynamic. Look at the difference, too. Look at that. You got to pay attention to that as well because that matters. You got Black Lives Matter, and then you got the other folks that aren't that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be part of it also. You know what I'm saying? Everything is everything. Nothing is accidental. Nothing is coincidental. All these things are happening for a reason. It's going to incite the next part of the agenda. The people.
Okay. Well, I don't want
I'm not going all into that. I'm just saying the people who we say we are the people just don't know what that thing is. We don't know how they think. We don't know how they're utilizing the language that we think we're speaking, because we're not speaking the same language. What sounds like the same thing to us in politics is something completely different. Same word, different definitions. So their whole conversation is not what we think it is. Even when they say we, it ain't got nothing to do with us. It's them.
Right.
So it's deeper than what is presented. We will not know right now what is really going on because the actors are professionals. They are on cue. They know what to do, what to say, when to do it, how to, you know what I'm saying? Like the emotions are cued. All of that shit. It's written out.
Okay.
It's scripted. It ain't unscripted.
Right.
It's scripted.
So to end my little question thing, because you and I don't always think the same way. You know, you and Marvin definitely are both understand whatever the Roman Empire and all that kind of stuff. I don't, and I kind of choose not to go down that lane because, you know, that's my choice. The only thing I will say is that in spite of whatever plot, plan, theory, whatever, I don't know, whatever, the one thing that is clear to me for sure is that we need to unify. That part for me is clear without a shadow of a doubt. We need to come together as one. I'm so proud of Georgia. I'm so proud of all the people who did, you know, who voted, who did what they believed, and we saw a change. So I'm just praying for unity, not just because I want to see unity, but because other countries are watching us and listening to us and understanding the military. We got to do better. That's all I want to say. We got to do better. Whatever, we got to do better because it's from a military standpoint, it don't look good. So anyway, let's get up off of that because then I can go down a whole nother lane, and I don't want to do that. So let's talk about this whole guilt thing. So you said your day started, Dr. Amarie, about the topic of guilt.
Yeah, no, I was just listening. Somebody just in our opening, somebody mentioned the word guilt, and that just brought back this morning. I was having a conversation with some folks online, and we were talking about the topic of, somebody mentioned it then, somebody mentioned guilt. And so it's another meeting that I'm in about a half hour from now, and that's what we're going to be discussing, a whole thing about guilt. So I was just mentioning it, that's all. That it's just been that kind of day where folks are, guilt is the word.
But kind of similar to what I was saying to Kim. You know, Kim is at a point in her life where she's ready for a career change. You know what I'm saying? She's ready to change career. She's ready to do something else. But people who may know her, you know how she's lived and how she's been able to sustain herself, and, you know, as a massage therapist, or even for myself, for the many times that I wanted to leave the medical field because I was burnt out with it. But they know the money, good money, you know, nursing makes good money. They don't understand. People who don't understand, you know, they're used to the 9 to 5. They're not used to, you know, they don't understand the desire for change. Like, why you want to leave that job? That job got good benefits, don't it? That job, why would you know how many people trying to find a job like that? But that's not your passion. You're going to work every day, and you just feel like your soul is just being robbed every day you walk into the place, you know. But sometimes things that keep you there at that particular job or in that particular career, beyond just the money, is the guilt. People make you feel guilty for wanting to change. People make you feel guilty for wanting to follow your dreams. People make you feel guilty. You feel what I'm saying?
That's taking even beyond the working environment. People make you feel guilty for wanting to be happy. People will make you feel guilty for wanting to get out of a toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? They'll play on your emotions. They'll throw stuff on you, or they'll hold something over your head. They'll make you feel intimidated, you know, some kind of way. They'll control another person's emotions, you know, to keep them in line or to prevent them from making a move on their own. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to make you feel guilty because I need you, or I want you to do something for me. It's always about a selfish gain. And people, and I'm just talking about in relationships, a lot of people, and this happens a lot to men, and I've noticed this, a lot of times men are so attached to other relationships, be it with, ex-girlfriends or somebody they're talking to, a parent, whatever it is. They're so attached to this woman that she controls his every thought or his every move, his wanting to be happy when he, you know what I'm saying? It's like where he can't make a decision on his own to do and or be whatever it is he wants to do or be, because it's going to affect her. She ain't going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's got to make a decision based on how it affects her or them or, whatever it is. So he'll miss out on his own happiness. He'll miss out on whatever it is. If it's a job, if it's another relationship, whatever it is, he'll miss out on that because he's been made to feel guilty, like he's not supposed to be happy. He's not supposed to take care of himself. He's not supposed to enjoy life or whatever it is. I think that's so messed up because it happens so often, but people don't talk about it. Men don't talk about it, and women definitely don't talk about it with the men. But it happens so much. It's ridiculous and sad. But
a lot of that is from where is from our correspondence from when we were younger. We were made to believe that it's really self-serving.
Yeah,
coming from the person who's spitting the word out, right? Or saying that, and it's self-serving in that the other person typically is trying to get their way, so it's a form of manipulation.
Absolutely.
You're not supposed to feel that way. You're not supposed to do that. Think about back when we were kids, at least for me, when I was a kid, I was made to feel guilty all the time. I didn't want to share my toys with people. Well, hell, I didn't want to share my toys because maybe that other kid was destructive. Maybe that other kid didn't deserve my toys. Maybe I valued them. Right? But I was made to feel guilty by the people that should have supported my choices, were made to feel guilty. Well, you shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't do that. Something wrong with you. What's wrong with you? You don't want to share your toys. Well, shit.
Right.
They don't deserve it.
Okay. And they're your toys.
Yeah,
or
mine.
Or I can tell you another example of guilt. Like recently, over the last, I want to say, maybe, I don't know. When I first wrote my book, This Can't Be Love, which was back in 2004, there wasn't a lot of stories by women talking about the abuse that they experienced, whether it was child abuse, molestation, spousal abuse, whatever. There wasn't a lot of books out. There wasn't a lot of women talking about it. And there still aren't a lot of men talking about it. But over time, more women have come out. But when they do come out, when a lot of these women tell their stories about what they experienced, what they went through, sometimes they go through that made to feel guilty by members of the family who don't want that information out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people to know about, what went on in their family, because, for a long time it's like what happens in the family stays in the family. But the thing is, if it wasn't for people coming out and talking about it, the child abuse, talking about the molestation or whatever, these perpetrators who are still out there doing it, because you still got perpetrators out there doing it. Don't think that just because there's stories out here now of grown women talking about what they went through as kids, that there's not some kids right now who's still going through that, especially when we got this pandemic, when they said child abuse is the highest it's ever been, all that kind of stuff. But at least there's a more openness to tell, to talk about it, to go to somebody about it. And it's only because of the people who were brave enough to come out with their stories, in spite of the way that their family may have made them feel, or friends, or, worried about how people are going to look at them. I know a lot of people probably wonder, like, why would you tell so much about yourself as far as, what you go through, through your lives, or what you went through in your book or whatever. But I just feel like things that happen to you are never just about you, and that you have to be willing to share the testimony because that's how other people are healed, but everybody don't like that. And so they like to make people feel guilty. Oh, you know, or shun you, or make you feel like you're the black sheep of the
If I make you feel guilty, if I make you feel guilty, then I can hide my shame. You know what I'm saying? I change the energy. I'm going to change the focus and put it on you. So I'm going to make you feel guilty about even having a thought of exposing something that will cause you shame. So like shame on you for trying to expose the truth. That's what, again, manipulation is always about that. Manipulation is about controlling. And all of that occurs when we talk about the oppression. It's how it begins with a gesture, a thought, a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It begins with that. I'm gonna make you feel some type of way. I'm gonna get in your mind first. I'm gonna make you feel guilty or scared or whatever. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna get my way. Because as long as you feel some type of way that I can control, I'm gonna get my way. Always manipulative. It's just sad. It's sad and ridiculous on every level.
And you know what? A lot of people don't understand why some women, especially young girls, stay in those abusive relationships, you know. But the men, like, especially if it's young girls who they've been problem teens. Let's talk about the problem teens, right? They've been acting up in school. They just kind of been rebellious. And then they meet somebody. They meet some guy, right? And the family already has been, like, making them feel like the black sheep of the family. So they meet some guy, and sometimes it's older men. I remember when I was younger, it used to be older men that used to, you know, try to pursue me, although mine wasn't playing them kind of games. But still, there was men in their 20s who going after these 16-year-old girls and stuff like that. And then the girl is defying the parents or defying the family, you know, if she wasn't already acting up before she met the older man or whatever. And then sometimes they stay in those relationships because the man makes them feel like, you know, I'm the only one who understands you. I'm the only one who knows, who loves you.
Right.
Your family don't love you. You see, your family don't even want you around. You see, your family don't even want to be bothered with you. The only one who can put up with you is me. I'm the one who's taking care of you. I'm the one who made, when your family put you out, when your mama put you out, when your cousin put you out, whatever, you came to me. I've been here for you. So they keep them in that web of feeling guilty and feeling obligated, that like they owe them something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I gotta stay with you, or they put them on that guilt trip. Like, you know, every person that I ever loved left me. My mom left me. My aunt left me. You know, cousin Judy. Everybody left me, and so that's why I'm messed up. That's why I can't show emotion. That's why I'm abusive. That's why I'm this, I'm that, because I have these things and nobody understands me. And so the girl or the young woman is like, I want to understand you. You know, I'm here for you, baby. You know, even though she get knocked up beside the head.
Right.
She want to be the one that can say, I was a ride or die, but are you a ride or die to the expense of your own soul?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. That is absolutely correct.
It's really correct. You know, and then sometimes situations happen because they've seen their mothers go through that. It's a generational thing. It's a generational thing, I think.
Yeah, it can be, but a lot of it is just about, you know, going back to the basics. Are you getting your basic needs met? Because, hell, that hit over the head ain't as bad as not being able to have the next newest thing that's out, or the next, you know, purse that's on the market. That hit on the head ain't as bad as how I'm gonna be judged for not having what's new and upcoming these days. It's not. So you got to think about, you know, the reason why. And I know we were talking about abusive relationships some time ago, but you got to really think about the reason why that people stay in them. It's not always because of the way that they were brought up or that they seen somebody else do it. It's just that they haven't found a way to get their own needs met.
Right.
Or they feel like that's love. That's love. If he's calling your phone 12,000 times and want to know where you're at, what you doing, how you doing it, how come you ain't called him on the last break, torturing you, why it take you so long to get home, why you this and that, they think that's love. They think that's the way
that is, and that's attention for some of them. It is, because someone may have it. They ain't had the love. They ain't had somebody to check on them. They ain't had somebody to care what they did. They just did what the hell they wanted to do. So they haven't.
And in all fairness, while we talk about abuse and it's more commonly discussed amongst women, you got to include the men. And I'm not even necessarily talking about the physical part of it, because men get abused in such a way that they don't even realize that they're being abused because it's not physical. You know what I'm saying? They get abused emotionally, psychologically, financially too. You know what I'm saying? And they don't recognize.
Well, hell. Think about the guilt that they feel for being abused. A lot of them know that they are being abused, and they feel guilty about feeling bad about it. It's like, I'm a man. I ought to be able to take this. This ain't nothing. But
they'll brush it off. They'll brush it off as it's not being abusive. It's being brushed off more like she tripping. She just in a bad mood. She tripping. I'm gonna just go buy her some flowers. I'm gonna do this, whatever. But it's a repeated cycle. But because as a man ego says we don't get abused. This can't happen to us. So this got to be something else. It's the denial, and again the guilt of it all. It's like all of that. It still ties in, but they still experience the same abuse. It just looks different, but it's worse with them because they don't recognize it as such. So they'll continue in their pattern. They'll continue doing the same shit they've been doing, or not allowing themselves to really experience their true selves and be able to, express that or receive love or whatever it is. They're like, they cut themselves off. They sabotage themselves and everything around them, everything that looks good. They sabotage that because there's no possible way in their mind that this could be real. There's no way that this is just stress-free. There ain't no drama attached to that. There's no possible way. It's got to be some. And then if it's not, for those who have been mentally abused, emotionally abused, they'll create the scenario. And I'm speaking from experience. I've been in a couple relationships. One of them that I told you that just recently passed away. We finally had a conversation about it, and he had to admit to me that it wasn't anything that I did, which I already knew, but it wasn't anything that I did. It was because of what he was used to. So when he gets, and this goes on with many men, when they get into a relationship with a woman, or they want to be in a relationship with a woman, and it is really a healthy one, they don't know what to do with that because they're used to being in toxic ones. So every relationship from the first toxic relationship that they were in has to look like that relationship. They're looking for everything toxic in it. And if it's not there, they're going to put it there because that's what they're used to. They know how to handle that. They know what to do with that, which is usually nothing.
Right.
They know what, what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want my abusers to apologize. They can just leave me money, shit. Pay me out. Good God. Man, listen. The statute of limitations on apologizing is over. Send money. I don't want to hear that. Oh, sorry, I forgot we was on the air. Y'all listen here. My mind is gone.
Before meeting Kim, I'm going to be honest, I didn't used to have a lot of sympathy for the men, because I always felt like, I guess I never really looked at it like men get abused too. Men go through stuff too. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, some men have been emotionally damaged by relationships, or may that be a relationship with a woman or with a female figure in their life, their mother, their aunt, sister, or whatever. They, and so they grow up, they can't be affectionate. They can't express their feelings. They can't express their emotions. They can't, because for whatever reason, they weren't allowed to express them. Maybe maybe the father was abusive and told them don't express yourself. I don't know, but there are a lot of men who definitely are going through stuff. But I don't think I used to look at it like that. I really did. I remember, in fact, Kim, I think me and you, that used to be one of our arguments at first.
Yeah.
It used to be like, man's a king, and I'm just like, man, but the women is the queen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you and I used to kind of tuggle back and forth for a little while until I started to understand that men really, there are men who definitely are getting beat down. They was brought up to not hit a woman, and they got a woman, a bully woman that's beating up on them. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Yeah. And they stand for the kids. Because that might be their guilt. Because we know that I've always believed that it's easier for a man to find a woman it's easier for a man to find a quality woman than it is for a quality woman to find a quality man. I guess because the women are not supposed to be looking, but the reality is because there are so many more men than women, we end up being the one to ask the brother out on the date. You know what I'm saying? Because he got so many damn options. He just chilling. He ain't got to ask nobody nothing. If you want, you better get in where you fit in.
Right.
But I for a long time I didn't used to think that there were that many abused men. But I have always known from my own relationships that, there are men who are not able to show affection. And that is so deep to me because I'm a very affectionate person. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm a huggy, I'm a very affectionate person, especially in a relationship. So to be in a relationship with a man who does not know how to do that or does not want to do that, that's like that was always a place of unhappiness until now. Like Kenny's very affectionate, which is why we mesh well. But just I've been in a lot of relationships with men who cannot show affection. They think that affection is sex. But there's more to affection than just what happens in the bed. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But there are a lot of people who cannot have a hard time with that.
Because, it's like people think, women, let me put it that way, women have this false belief that men don't have feelings, that they don't have insecurity, that they don't have feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like they are just so hard and they don't get hurt or whatever. They just get angry or they just don't deal with stuff or whatever. But they are very emotional beings, and probably more so than women. They just don't express that. Women would boo-hoo in a minute, you know what I'm saying? But a man won't. And because he won't, he holds all of that energy, all of that toxicity, all of that anger, all of that pain and hurt and disappointment. He holds all of that in, but then he displays it in his behavior, which ends him up in jail or in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? It puts him in a negative position because he can't let go of what's in his head. If he get it out of his head, I had a conversation with somebody recently, whatever's in your head, get it out. And the only way to get it out of your head is to speak it out your mouth. Release it. Like that whole energy will hold you down. It will hold you back. It will prevent you from being able to move forward and recognizing your true self, being able to receive what it is that you really want. But they're not taught to do that. They're taught to shut up. They're taught to ignore the feelings. If they got some, run away from them, ignore them. That can't be real. They're taught to run, to shut it down once it occurs. Shut it down. Be hard. Be the man, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wrong. It's very wrong, very inaccurate. But like I said, because we are taught that they don't have these feelings, that they don't have these insecurities, that they are not emotional, we treat them like they don't have emotions. So we allow that whole lie to continue.
I think Misty called in, but before we get to Misty, let me open up the phone line for anyone who may be interested in calling in and joining in on our topics, because maybe you have some insight, or maybe you have something you want to say, or if you just want to tell us Happy New Year. So the phone number is 516-387-1247. Once again, that's 516-387-1247. But Misty's on the line. What's going on, Misty?
What's going on, Misty?
Hey, y'all. How y'all feeling?
Wonderful.
We feeling good. How was your week?
My week was okay. It was a little. I ain't gonna say a little stressful. It was stressful to the T, but today's a different story. God is good. I was in my prayer closet, like really heavy last night and today, so I woke up on the right side of the bed, and God is good.
Okay.
With a smile on my face and with peace on me, and just like some love, and what you say, Kim? F your feelings. Get out of it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm still rolling on that. I'm telling everybody, like, my girl got a book. It's called F Your Feelings. You might want to check it out. Like, put your feelings. Who cares? But all is well.
We live by that thing. Want to talk about, Misty? We already got through that part. You came in right on.
Yeah, I see. I'm glad. My son just left, so we sat here and talked for a while. So, my granddaughter said hi.
Political nothing. I do want to say this, y'all, before we go back to the topic of guilt. I do want to say this. I messed up with my my New Year's resolution, but I'm gonna get back on it. I slipped. I had a couple cuss words. This is really emotional. But I ain't giving up. I'm still on. I ain't giving up.
You only 7 days in, girl. So you done cussed out already.
When all that stuff went down with
Lord.
Capitol Hill, I just was like, what the? And then different cuss words. I'm like, oh snap! And I had to find a bucket to put a penny in. I'm like, damn it, I'm not doing good with this. So I gotta, but I ain't giving up.
That's all bad.
So did you got your jar? My question is the jar open?
Yeah, but
you got the jar every time you cuss. You put the money in the jar, because that'll help.
I did. It had some money I've been saving. I did. But these little kids came and I paid them to take my trash out, so now I got to start my little jar all over. So, and not to jump topics as far as guilt, but to, from the relationship so much, but to get to the children, I just want to say this: a lot of children do not tell about the abuse because of guilt. I know that when I was a little girl and the signs of abuse was obvious, anybody with eyes to see that I was being abused or whatever. But whenever they would ask me, I would always say no. I would always, no. How did you hurt yourself? Oh, I would make up a lie. Because it's like a guilt, because you want to protect, family member. You want to protect the person you love, because the kids love their family. They love their parents. They love their whatever. So they're not always honest.
Right.
So that's a guilt too. And maybe that's something that even as they grow older, I start to think to myself, how many times have I, knew it was an abusive situation or something, and I didn't speak up. I didn't say, or I didn't remove myself from the situation, made excuses or whatever. I don't know. But we have Amarie on the line. What's up, Amarie?
Hey.
Hey.
How are y'all, my sisters?
They put a muzzle.
I'm in a much better space mentally.
Good.
Amen.
Than I was last week. You know, the week went pretty good. So I saw that mess yesterday. I'm kind of glad it happened, the Capitol Hill, because I got so tired of feeling like I had to justify when people, you know, like use the race card. I have so many colleagues, like I just get so tired when people use the race card. I'm like, and now they see why. Because if that was Black Lives Matter, it'd be a lot of black lives in body bags right now. You know, but because the order came from the president, and I hope they are going to impeach him, even if it takes the process, even if the process takes long, because he's been impeached before. You know, any president to get impeached twice can never, ever run for presidency again. So if they don't do it for no other reason, they need to impeach this bastard so he could. Don't think for 1 second that he could run again in 2024.
He didn't have no.
And that's the law.
He didn't have no intent on running in 2024. I don't think so. Anyway.
Actually, he did, because he didn't expect to lose this time, and he said he was going to run again in 2024 if he can't overturn this. And I mean, and even if he doesn't, you know, even if he doesn't or he's not allowed to, then they also, you know, I know one of his sons may try to run. But, you know, the Republicans are looking pretty bad right now. And you know what's bad when you have a couple of your right-hand men that just, there was nothing that they could say. Nothing. You still had your few that's going to ride the wheels off, but his main people, like I never thought that McDowell, is that his name, McDowell? I never thought that he would ever side with anybody else other than Trump. And then his wife was the advisor to the First Lady. She gave her resignation effectively immediately, along with 4 or 5 other people. I mean, you just can't do that. The last time somebody tried to storm through Capitol Hill was in, 1896 or something like that, during the Great Britain War. You know, so you can't do that. And then it's like, you know, then his apology, oh, please go home. Let's just do this peaceful. We love you. Who loved him? Who loved him? Because I remember seeing police. I remember seeing them all suited up. I remember the tear gas just a few months ago. I remember him calling us thugs, and what did he say? When if they have guns, it's time to fire or something like that. It was something he tweeted. I mean, and he tweeted so much BS. Twitter shut him down. Facebook shut him down for 12 hours. But Twitter told him, you write another thing, your account is permanently suspended. Don't give a damn who he is. They're billionaires too.
Is that your background, Marie? Is that your background? We hear everybody put their phone.
Is that my what?
Is that your background?
I don't know. What does it sound like?
It sounds like.
I don't know.
Are you outside?
Do I sound better?
Yes.
Well, then I guess it's safe to say that may have been my background. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with my Bluetooth in the car. I've been moving some of my stuff, so I'm like, ugh. And I had to put some things in storage, and that's where I was going. I'm like, well, I could just Bluetooth and talk to them. But apparently I can't. So I'm holding my phone.
They put a muzzle on. They put a muzzle on me, Marie. They told me, yeah, we could talk about it, but this ain't gonna be no all night talking about things. You know, I'm ready to come and talk.
Oh, that's all I had to say. I've said what I had to say.
Yeah, we ain't doing this.
Okay, so let me ask you. Because you know, if I ask Kim, they're gonna go down the rabbit hole, and I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. So I'm gonna ask you. So, what do you think? Why wasn't there security the way it needed to be? Why was they in there taking selfies?
Because you know, Washington D.C. is the only, we call it a state, but technically it's not a state. It's the District of Columbia. So, because if it was a state, the governor would have to say, hey, release the National Guard. But because it's the District of Columbia, only the president can give word. And some of the advisors were upset because they said the president refused He sat in his dining Oval Office and watched everything come to a head. And then he tweeted, "This is what you get when you cheat the election." You know what I'm saying? So he did that intentionally. He knew, but he still did it intentionally.
So isn't that a crime? Can you do stuff like
that?
It
is definitely a crime. It is a federal crime that as president, they cannot charge a president while he is still in acting office. That's the crazy part.
Mm-hmm.
So when
I'm pretty sure he's going to get. And another thing is from the Black Lives Matter, they had what did they have? They had on the Black Lives Matter, they had hundreds of people who were arrested. But this dude, they arrested 54 people. Now they're looking for him. But yeah. But I'm going to listen in while y'all continue to. Huh?
It was like they was on a tour guide. It was like it was on a tour. That right there is Pelosi's office. Go ahead and take a picture. And then over here,
I saw when the police let them in. You know, some officers let them right in. And then some officers moved out the way. Some officers took selfies. I'm like, so the chief of police, he resigned, and he should have, because he knew if he wouldn't have, his ass would have got fired.
Okay. So that's what was going on. The governor did not have the authority to call in extra. To call in the National Guard.
Right.
Or to call
they kept
police.
pleading. They kept pleading, but they did absolutely nothing. But I'm going to listen to you for a second because I'm still moving.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Hold on. Let me slide back. You said you're moving.
I'm moving some of my stuff into the storage if I can see it. And so I'm trying to listen in. I'm trying to help out at the same time.
So I'm curious, as you're listening, I'm curious, since we're talking about guilt, do you think that, because I know you've been talking about moving for a long time now. You've been saying that you want to move for a while. So I'm curious, do you think some of the reason why you have not moved, even though that's what you really, really want to do, is because of guilt? I'm just curious. Not to put you on the spot, but I'm wondering. Have you felt guilty about leaving your family and moving to a different side of town?
No. That may not be. No, that was never it. You know, I've always, my grandma. Okay, yeah, that was never it.
But when you come back on, you can talk about it, because I know you said you had to get off for a second. So when you come back on, you can talk about it.
I'll be listening to you, but I'm just handling business right now.
Okay.
But I'm listening. All right.
So they had Kim and them put a muzzle on me about talking about Capitol Hill, so we can get through this whole thing without getting shut down. But we got to talk about it. If somebody call in and they don't know that I'm muzzled.
Okay, I mean, that's different. We just don't want to, have 2 hours talking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just like, if it's something that we right now can't do nothing about, don't put that energy there. Put the energy on something you can do something about. Period.
And you know what? That's why I put out that song. I was posting that song today, "We Are the World" by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson really was a freaking genius that was way ahead of his time. And so when I listened to that song today, I'm just like, that's what we need so bad. I don't understand why the powers that be or whomever doesn't understand the beauty of working together and how far we can go in unity. versus division. It's like the last, I want to say, he did 4 and Obama did 8, so that's 12. So for the last 12 years, they have been pushing division,
right?
Racial division, because of course, like I always tell people, there was always racism and prejudice, but it was just under the cover. It was. We knew it was there, but it wasn't in our faces. Like after the 60s, things calmed down after the death of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all that kind of stuff. Things calmed down and it went up under the surface. So. And that's just where it was. We knew it was going on, but it was under the surface. But when Obama got to office, it's like it just woke up a whole beast. And so it's just been growing until this part. Like, it didn't just start with Trump. It started with the election of a black man that I can see as far as the racial tension and the division in our country. And we just really got to get back to love. We got to get y'all. I don't understand why people do not understand. You are all connected. Every one of y'all, every person on earth has a chromosome. They have a genetic. Their genes. There's something. There's one chromosome that's the same to everybody. Everybody. They call it what do they call it? The Eve chromosome or whatever, the Eve mitochondria, whatever it is. Everybody is connected. They are. So I don't understand why people all over the world feel like they, whites, blacks, Mexicans, Hispanics, Chinese, y'all all freaking are connected. And we should have seen that in 2020 if no other time, because when that virus hit, it affected everybody in one way or another. Mentally, spiritually, affected your job, affected, lost loved ones or people were sick. It just, we should have seen just how connected we were last year. That's my thought.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You talked about we are the world. And if you don't mind me doing a quick little plug, I would appreciate it if I may. You said one of the things, if you don't mind me doing a little quick plug on something I'm doing, I'm working on right now.
Okay.
If so, I'll back off. If people individually would look at themselves and make a decision to change themselves, to correct themselves, to elevate themselves, as a collective, we would change the world. As a collective, we would change the world. And it is one person at a time. It'll take, like, I'm going to change today, you change tomorrow. You'll say, I'm going to do me, you do you. If everybody would just be honest with self and be accountable for self and, elevate self, realizing that we are the solution, we can do some things. And I'm saying that because one of my merchandise items is a hoodie and a shirt that come in black and white that says, I am the solution on purpose with purpose. And that goes for anybody. It has nothing to do with any one group, no, specific ethnicity, no, nothing. It's everything. It relates to everything and everybody. I am the solution. I can fix me. I can do something. And we can all do something to change something. But if we don't do it, if we don't take accountability for our own self, we keep pointing fingers at everybody else, talking about what they doing and and not what am I doing. If we don't start taking responsibility for ourselves, we're going to stay in this cycle. The moment you say, this is what I can do, or this is what I have done, or this is what I'm going to do, this is what I am going to do, I'm going to hold myself accountable, that's how we make that change. So I am the solution on purpose with purpose. I'm selling these hoodies and shirts on my website if anybody is interested in that. And I'm going to post it on my site as well, on my page right now.
What's your website again?
It is myomywellness.com. Plus MYOMY wellness.com.
Awesome. Okay. So let's take a quick break so I can play some music because y'all been cheating me out of music lately. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't think I've been noticing conversations and I don't get my music time. You know what I'm saying? So can I please take a music break? I probably think we want to.
Go ahead, get your music break, baby.
On the Move Unscripted, y'all.
Your mind all over my body. Take your time. I'm not worried. Relax your mind. Not so hurried. Wrap your mind all over my body. Remedy, bring your body, baby. I'ma play a melody to bring you out the rain. Chase away a shadow. You fight something inside. I just wanna help you let go. Taking it nice and slow. Your mind all over my body. Take your time. I'm not worried. Relax your mind. Not so hurried. Wrap your mind all over my body. Bedroom magazine. Oh, baby, got your frame. So stay right where you lay. You got your wanted pictures hanging on my window pane. So when you say you're coming, please don't play no games. Oh, I've got my true set, but Bob again, don't wanna rest. Let's play this thing all night. Get lost in all this high. Find passion in the low. Baby, you're my antidote. When the world is being my kryptonite. Cause nothing seems to be going right. Wrap your mind all over my body. Take your time. I'm not worried. Relax your mind. Not so hurried. Wrap your mind all over my body. I see you with working it, video with. I can fix you and baby. No one can do it like you do. One call away. We don't have to stay. Let's get away. Long as you're here with me, I know we gon' make history. Wrap your mind all over me, all over me, over me. Oh baby, just take your time. When you're loving me. I can see your mind everything I want over my body. I wanna give you everything. Your time. Tell me, are you down with me? Not worried. I can see your mind. Everything I want with me. So I wanna give you everything. Your mind. Tell me, are you down with me? Makeup done, high heels on, blue dress on, diamonds done, fur coat on, lipstick on. I put these on so you can take them off. Took me some time to get it ready. Don't make me wait, come break me down. I know you love
Unscripted Ladies Roundtable discussion. And so we've kind of been talking about a few things tonight. We did briefly hit on, what happened on Capitol Hill. It's so fun. It's so not funny, but it's so tripped out to me that since we've been on this show, in fact, and when I think about it, it's not even just this show, but even when I was on 1100 AM in Atlanta with MBJ Live, it seemed like whenever it was time to go on the radio or whenever it was time to go, to have a show, something major in the world was always happening. I swear to goodness. And so if you think about it, every time over this all of last year, since from when we started this show on, it seems like something major would happen on the same day or the day after, or if not the same day, it would have been the day before we had a show. Have y'all noticed that?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Do you think that's accidental?
I'm surprised they shut us off this time.
You said what?
They're shutting us down.
I'm surprised they didn't shut us off this time.
Right.
We got talking about their boy.
That's because we've been sliding in and out. They can't catch us. Probably by the time the people tune in, we're talking about guilt, so they ain't catch it.
Right.
They're sliding in and out.
Yeah.
Because it is true. A lot of people don't know that, and I don't know if a lot of people don't know that there is suppression that goes on with the social media and the radio and all that kind of stuff. Like when you hear YouTubers talk about how their site is being suppressed or whatever, that is going on. That is happening. Like it really is. Like there's a suppression of our voices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm curious. I'll never get that time. I don't know if it was y'all or if it was Mr. Stout. I don't know who it was. But I remember I was interviewing. We were about to interview. I think it was Mr. Stout, and we were about to interview someone, and it was just me, Mr. Stout, and the other person. The other person could not hear us. There was something going on with Blog Talk. They could not hear us, but we could hear because me and Kenny were sharing the same phone. We could hear somebody in the background somewhere because we could hear TV. Okay. But the person that we were trying to interview could not hear us. So I'm just like, is somebody back there listening in and you forgot to push mute on your control?
Okay.
Like, what? Yeah.
Do you think that's a coincidence?
No, I know it's not a coincidence because too many people. When you have too many people complaining the same thing, that's not a coincidence.
Right.
When too many people are going through the same thing, or when these coinkydinky things happen always the same way, that's never a coincidence. There ain't nothing coincidental about life, no how.
Right. Absolutely. That is correct.
Yeah, everything is there's a reason for everything. But the cool thing is being in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the conspiracy theories and the rabbit hole situations and the thoughts and the military. The cool thing is learning how to stay centered and at peace. And I'm curious, do any of y'all meditate? Do any of you ladies on here meditate?
Yes, ma'am.
I meditate every morning, even if I'm late for work. After prayer is meditation immediately.
Yeah. I think that's important. I think that's important right now with finding our peace. Because if you don't, Misty, Amarie, Misty said your earplugs in again.
My earplugs, what?
It's making that noise in the background.
You can still hear the background?
Not right now.
Not right at this moment, but yeah, we could.
I was going to say, I know not. Because I'm holding my phone.
I'm curious though. What did y'all do for New Year's? I'm sorry to switch topics suddenly. But what did y'all do for New Year's?
Well, for me, the New Year hasn't come in yet. So I didn't do nothing. I said, for me, New Year's hasn't come in yet, so I haven't done anything.
I don't understand. So I don't understand. How do you? Okay. So when does your New Year start?
Spring.
So why
Seriously.
does your New Year start?
So it's like the end of March, the beginning of April, somewhere in there. Spring.
Is it spring because that's when all new life and everything begins?
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's
all
when what? You said that's when what began?
Life.
Well, because, spring is when the trees begin to bloom, the flowers. That's usually when animals have their babies, So spring is always resembled the beginning. Even with time, they be like, when we got to set our clock, we springing forward, we're going forward.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a message that I had preached one time, springing forward.
Yep.
Because I think, is it Chinese New Year in the spring also? I don't know. Somebody from a different country, it's the New Year.
I thought their New Year was in January. January, February. I could be wrong.
But I'm glad in the United States, New Year's is January 1st, because that was my birthday.
Right.
And I just chill. I bought in the New Year. I bought these little poppers, that pop out confetti. So I'm on my porch, and when I started hearing the gunshot, I was like, okay, well, let me get my little poppers, and I popped. Then I heard a machine gun go, brrr. I'm like, yeah, that's it for that. I'll just have to put up the confetti in the house. In the hood, they do not know how to act. Like, okay, first of all, you're not supposed to do no gunshots. But what's crazy? I didn't see not one police car strolling in the intercity. Not one. So I don't know. But it was pretty cool. I had people come through in groups. Like mainly siblings, a couple friends. Popped up, said hey. I'm like, hey. I cooked. Well, I didn't cook, but my sister cooked. So people came. We just made plates. Like, yeah, you can't stay long. This is an in and out situation.
I was bored.
So I just relaxed. It was a day of relaxation.
I thought it was boring. I was bored.
What's your New Year's?
It was boring. I'm used to
song was dope though.
Either in club or church, but definitely not sitting in front of the freaking computer with my and Kenny was asleep. So I'm in here. Everybody, everybody.
But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was dope though. How about that?
I didn't go to bed till almost.
Yeah, that's I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I didn't go to bed till almost 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And by that time, I was so lit, there was nothing else I could do but go to sleep. Just lit from champagne to champagne, drink after. And I'm not really a drinker. I'm like a cooler drinker. But I got some hardcore gut-wrenching family members like, man, take this shit back. Man, let your chest hair show. Like, why would I want to do that? But, I tried it, and it was a bit much for me. So I just went to sleep.
So, Kim, you said you liked Kenny's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, I liked that too. Yes.
Yeah, he it's so funny because he's like real humble when it comes to his own projects. Like he's a beast when it comes to promoting other people, but he's very humble when it comes to himself. But when I heard that song, I'm like, that's you? Oh my God!
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I be torturing his details because I'll be playing it all the time because it just really has me like it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to get up. It makes you happy. It just made me happy.
Right. And see, that's one of those songs that too could be played at the skating rink while you're playing. But that's also one of those songs that it doesn't have to just be that one day. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that one day. That's an all year round song.
Right.
I skating song too. You think you can see people skating to that song?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Because we know that song. You know what I'm saying? We know that hook. You know what I'm saying? We know the hook. We remember that. So to implement his version of it, absolutely. You need to get that to the ring. Get that down here to the A immediately.
You know what? When we come, I wish. You know what? Because I'm coming to Atlanta soon. We're working on our dates now, but unfortunately, I don't know. I want to go skating so bad. I want to go to Sparkle so bad. Oh my gosh! Because you know I didn't have my skates for a while now, Kim. You know what I'm saying? I want to go skate so bad, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to stay Sunday when we come because you know I think he has to go back to work on Monday. I want to go skating so bad. I am not lying.
Why have you not went skating here?
Huh?
Why have you not went skating here?
See, I love. I don't want nobody in Columbus to get mad at me. I love Columbus.
I'm already mad because I don't know how to skate.
And, you know,
so I'm already mad at y'all.
I grew up skating in Columbus. I did, but I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but Columbus ain't got nothing on the skaters in Atlanta. In Atlanta, the skaters are serious about that. They are dedicated every freaking Wednesday, Sunday, whatever the skate night is. They are there and they are loyal to it, and they are not playing. Columbus, I got that same feeling vibe.
When did you go vibe? When was the last time you've been skating in Columbus?
I went with Kim and DJ. Remember that, Kim?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
I think I went one more time after that, and it was boring. I'm just like, for real, I don't know. Maybe it's because, I don't know. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
Okay, so did you go to East or did you go North?
Huh?
Did you go to USA East or North?
When we were younger, which one did we go to all the time?
When we were young, the happening skating rink was USA East. But as adults, all your serious skaters skate at adult skate Sunday night at Skate Zone up north. I was going to say there's no way it could have been more. There's no. See, now I went like last summer. I went to USA East because I'm like, I ain't been skating in a minute. Let me go skate. Plus, my friend didn't think I could skate. Like, girl, when last time you been on skates? Like, it's like riding a bike. So she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. Let's go. We went, and it was probably like maybe 25 or 30 people. It was more air than people. And we went to USA East, and then when I talked to one of the guys there, he said, oh, no, we just come up here to practice. And plus, we went on a Saturday night. He said, everybody that's serious, that skate, go to Skate Zone up north on Sunday night. And I was like, oh, but see, Sunday night interfered with Scully's, the Caribbean club. And like Saturday, I would go skating. Sunday, I got to hang out with my brothers from the motherhood of Africa, of Jamaica. That's where all your peoples is at. That's Caribbean, and that's where they be at on Sunday night. Now I haven't been nowhere since this COVID thing hit pretty strong, but yeah, when you go next time you go.
That you came in, was that a Sunday that we was there, or was that a Friday?
Girl, ain't nobody there on Friday.
Whatever day we went, it was boring.
You must have went to East. You had to have went to East because up north, I had to park like behind because the lot was full. So I'm like, okay, this is what I get for coming late. So I had to park like because it's next to a plaza. I had to park in the plaza. And then I complained that there wasn't enough people, and then up north it was too many people. I couldn't breathe. Like, oh my God.
Oh no, well, that's not the experience that I had with Kim and DJ. Now you know, Marie. Mind you, in all fairness, that was our thing growing up. You and I If we wasn't at Alexander's, we was at the skating rink. I swear to goodness, me and Amarie it was either Alexander's. We was all the Columbus was big for their little clubs for the young people, 20s and stuff. And me and Marie used to be doing the club thing faithfully. In fact, that's where I met my ex-husband at Alexander's. And then if it wasn't there, it was skating. So I remember how the skating rinks used to be packed, but that was not the experience that I had with DJ and Kim. In fact, I was kind of embarrassed, like, listen, Kim, I want to tell him, listen, Kim, it ain't always like this. Because I know how they get down in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah. But y'all skate Sunday. I mean, they have it at East, too, but don't nobody go to East. Everybody's at North.
See, I don't know if it was East. I thought it was North, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was East.
You
East
probably
even
went
still
to,
open?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I don't know how, but it is.
I got to figure out some kind of exercise because this pandemic stuff is putting too many extra pounds on me. When my chunky brother starts doing fat jokes on me, I know there's a problem.
Okay.
Wow. He just started teasing me and give me little fat jokes. I know I got to start getting on some daggone.
No, that's because you got that man. You understand? That's that happy fat. That's
right. Okay.
That's that happy fat.
I'm gonna look for you tonight, boo. Okay, or whatever his little sweet nothing name is, amongst y'all.
Yeah. You know what? I am so. He's a good cook, so we eat a lot. We eat a lot, and then with everything being closed down, I can't go nowhere. So it's just like I told him that I said, I'm getting sick or whatever, and he's just like, it look good to me. He's a cougar. He's so sweet. He ain't gonna tell the truth. He ain't gonna tell the truth. But I got to get some exercise in my life. And I don't like walking in the cold. I cannot stand it. So skating is the next thing.
Well, all the gyms are still open, Trisha. I'm still at the gym twice a week.
Which one you go to? I need to go to where? I need to get out.
I go to because they got the Planet Fitness. They got something. But I go to the Y because the Y is the only one. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not in the pool, but I'm in the pool. I'm not on the floor. I'm in the pool. So I do my laps in the mornings twice a week.
In the pool?
Yes. And then I got water weights, so I lift my water weights while I'm in the water in the pool.
Well, I know I'm getting thicker, so I got to figure out something. I just don't. I got a problem. If anybody ever noticed me, I gain weight in the winter and I lose it in the summer. That's because in the winter I don't like walking.
Well, most people gain weight in the winter.
So, yeah, that's probably it. I don't know, but you're going to have to come to Atlanta. When's the next time that we can all, or when is the time that we can all take a girls' trip to Atlanta? Just Misty, John, Dr. Amarie, which I think Dr. Amarie had to get off, but Dr. Amarie, when can we all be in Atlanta at the same time? Oh my gosh, that would be such a fun trip.
Absolutely.
I'm actually about to get on the road to North Carolina within the next week or so. Or 2 weeks or something like that. Next a week or two from now.
Before this month?
I'm thinking about sometime this month, probably about, what's today's date, the 7th? Probably about 2-3 weeks, yeah. I'm about to get on the road to North Carolina.
Before the end of January?
Yes.
Because I'm going to be down, we're going to be in Atlanta before the end of January. So we need to collab because maybe because North Carolina is not that far from Georgia.
Right.
From Atlanta.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not that far. So, because it would be
there,
nice.
I'll be down there for like a whole 30 days or so. Go down there and
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going down there with my daughter, her husband, and the grandbabies. They'll take me a little trip.
I know, I need a trip too. So that would be cool if we're down. If me and Kenny are down in Atlanta, around that time that you're there, maybe you can come to Atlanta. You think your family would? And then we could do a show in Atlanta and then go skating in Atlanta. Marie, you think your drill sergeant job would let you off?
Thank you, Daddy. Yes, I do. All you got to do is let me know because, I don't work weekends no more. I told them every once in a while I'll pick up maybe one weekend out every other month or so. But, yeah, and it's such an excellent feeling. You just got to give me a notice.
Okay, this is your notice right now.
Exactly. Like, put yourself on notice.
This is your notice.
Y'all work that out. That'll be dope.
Like maybe the last weekend in January. How about the last weekend in January?
That's cool.
That's what's
You said the last weekend in January?
And then we could do anybody know the start date of the show that we had? It started in February, but what day was it? What was the date?
I don't remember.
That'll be our year anniversary.
It will.
I feel like it was around the 8th, though. To me, I think it was like around
the 5th. Was it the 5th? I was thinking
I don't know.
the 5th.
Somewhere around there, like the 8th, 5th, whatever. It was before the 10th.
I don't know. No, I don't know if it was that soon because Kim and I didn't start talking about even doing. We finalized the fact that we were going to do the show when I was in Atlanta for the Moody Gala, the Jermaine Moody Gala event, and that was at the end of January. So it couldn't have been that quick, was it? It could have been that quick.
It was too. It was because it was before my birthday. My birthday was
your
the
birthday?
end of February 27th.
Oh, we're going to party. My birthday, February 19th. I'm coming back to Atlanta. We're going to party for our February birthday.
When you say your birthday is, Patricia?
So when are you trying to go to Atlanta? Are you trying to go to the end of January? Are you trying to go for your birthday in February? When are you going?
Both. But for January, I want to go at the end. How about the end of January? Like the last weekend in January. Let's make it do something, last weekend in January.
Patricia, when your birthday?
My birthday is February 19th. So I would like to do something fun. I have done something fun every year for the last few years, and a pandemic can't stop it. I got to do something fun for my birthday, even if it's just an all-girls night out or something. Somewhere.
All right.
You know what's tripping me out right now that we having this conversation live on the radio and live on Facebook like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, we forgot that we were on the show. So we get back to the show, we can discuss your birthday after the show. You know what, Guil? We got to talk, and I completely forgot that we was on the radio, as a matter of fact.
Right.
We just talking.
You know what? That's because they understand. We have always told them that this is unscripted, and basically they're just being able to tune in to the conversation of friends because we're all friends.
Right.
So this is a friendship. We're trying to figure it out, and we just include y'all in it or whatever. But
and
they understand.
Sisterhood. We got a sisterhood going on here.
Right. That's
and
right.
I'm a friend. Yes, it's like y'all get to listen in on the girls' conversation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get to hear what we're talking about. Sometimes, and this time, we ain't even argued. Me and Kim is doing good. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, yeah, y'all been doing good for like the last 7 months.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far with it.
8 months. Yes.
I would not go that far with it, but I can tell you, I'm bearing witness. They're doing excellent this week and last week.
We doing. Because me and Kim, ooh, baby, y'all don't understand. When we was in Atlanta, when we were in Atlanta and I was on 1100 AM, I swear to goodness, Kim would call in. This is when I was on when me and MBJ Live was partners. And Kim would call in, and I swear, I don't give a I can't say what I want to say because, New Year's resolution. It don't even matter what the heck we was talking about. Kim was not going to agree with me. I could be like, you know what, it's raining outside. Kim would call and be like, nah. No,
it's not raining.
It ain't raining. The sun's shining.
But it's all in love, though. All in love. We agree to disagree.
Indeed, and
yes.
It's really it's not that we're deliberately. I know I'm not. We're not deliberately trying to disagree with each other. But I think the fact that because we do a lot, it still allows people to see different aspects of what's being said. That's the only.
Right.
I know that's the only reason. But like when I'm talking to her, when it's just me and her, or anybody though, when it's just me and her for real, it's not that I'm necessarily disagreeing with everything that she's saying. Is okay, yeah, and also look at it this way. Is that I get what you're saying, but you can't forget this part. So that's why it seems like we always argue. It ain't really that. It's just, if she decides she want to stick to that one part, then that's what it is, and I'm gonna stick to mine. Or I'm gonna bounce around on both sides, but I'm just gonna make it like I fight for the underdog. So that's what my conversation is gonna be. My passion is gonna be about the underdog. You know what I'm saying? So it seems as if we always arguing or battling, and it ain't that. It's just everybody gets to see both sides of the coin.
And I'm getting better. I'll cut you off as bad. Like I'm getting better.
Girl, all the time. I'm glad you ain't my air supply. Because I would have been so shocked.
Hey Kim, and then when she can't squeeze in and overtalk you, she mutes everybody so she can say what she want to say. And then when she get back on the phone, when she muted, we coming for her like, what? Did she just mute? Because you can hear it, like, mute. I'm like, oh, she muted us. Okay.
That's exactly how it sounds too, mute. So you might as well just mute yourself, for real.
No,
like I'll be doing. I'll be muting myself all the time.
No, listen, Kim will get into one of them zones, and Kim won't even take a break, man. When she get into one of them Malcolm X, Martin Luther King combos, it's over. You're not going to get a word in until she has said it down to the last syllable. And then if you try to break in, she'll be like, no, let me.
You know what? That's why when I know Kim got something to say, and she going to be a minute, she'll say, oh, okay, y'all go first. Are you sure you don't want to take a break? Because I'm going to be. That's when I know, like, okay, I can put my phone on mute because she going to be a minute.
Well, see, for me, I'll be grabbing my paper.
I always say, it's all
I grab my paper and my pencil, honey, because I'll be sitting over here learning stuff. I said it's time to get the notebook and the paper and the pen out because Kim got something to say, and I'm about to learn something today, baby.
Or she'll say it. This is how she'll do, Amarie. She'll be like, now I'm about to say this, and I'm going to need y'all to let me get it all out.
That's part.
And look, when you hear her mute, when she's not saying nothing, oh, you best believe she coming back real hard, honey. When she ain't saying nothing the whole show, yeah.
Real hard. By the time Kim get done talking, I'm ready to put my fatigues on and my combat. I'm like, shit, where we meet? Where we meet? Where you want to be?
Where we meet?
Where do you need me at, Lieutenant? Where you? I'm like Snoop Dogg, all right, then, Lieutenant. Where you want to meet me at, Lieutenant? Let's get it.
That's
right.
Do you remember that time she got into it with that group? You remember that time she got into it with the group, and she came on and she was about to go in, and that was a hot Kim.
Oh yeah, when they blocked her. When she got blocked. But that's all right though. That's all right. Hey, you ain't meant for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody.
Exactly.
No, and everybody ain't gonna accept you, and everybody ain't gonna see your value. So hey, it's only for the people that it's meant for. You know.
Right.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely true. Because you know what, it's not our responsibility to make other people happy, and you know whatever your value of opinion is of me. I mean that's great, you know, but good or bad, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's just your opinion. So I mean, and that's how you got to take it, you know, for people, because Kim comes a little strong. So some people can't take her strength. Some people can't take her strength, and some people who've been living in a bubble or living in a lie can't take her truth. You know, because she's straightforward. She's straightforward, and that's one thing I love about you, Kim. You know, there's no like, I wonder what she meant, because she gonna tell you what she means. She'll make sure you understand where she's coming from.
Right, and a lot of people don't want to be held accountable either. It's about being held accountable, and a lot of people don't want to be.
She's just going to tell you F your feelings. If you don't agree with what she got going on, she's just going to be like, well, F your feelings, because she's not going to care about that. She's going to deliver the information. That's it. It's like she's going to deliver information. It's my job to give you the information.
That's right. As long as we do our part, we're not responsible for nothing else. That's it.
As
long as you do your part.
That's right. But you know what? That's when we become grown ass women. You know, because I'm gonna start the New Year's resolution tomorrow. So that's the point.
Let me ask you something, Trisha. How many times have you had to have tomorrow for a resolution? Today's only the 7th.
That's why it's best not to even start one. Like I don't get it.
No, I started. If you only fail if you quit. So yeah, if you notice something that you want to quit doing, you make that resolution. You'll feel guilty. We were talking about guilt, right? You'll feel guilty and you'll keep trying.
It depends. Now that just depends. Maybe you should feel guilty, but then there's just times when you like, hey, the hell with it. I need to do this today. You know, and that's how you need. That's hey, sometimes that's how it is.
Right. Well, I am so glad that we got to follow up with, we had to address the Trump thing, because for one, we are making history right now. This is the history. What's been going on over these last 4 years, 8 years, 12 years has definitely been part of history. So we had to document that we were still a part of that history, because we was. And this audio will last long beyond that. So I definitely wanted to address that and how we felt about that. But then said we didn't want it to be the whole 2 hours, So I'm glad that we kind of bounced around a little bit here and there, and and that we were just able to talk about how we feel,
Right.
So one word of encouragement for the new year, everybody, because we got like 9 minutes left. So if we can go one by one, name something that you learned, just something. Use a word to describe what you learned in 2020, and use a word to describe what you're hoping to learn or accomplish or have in 2021. So I'm gonna start with you. Let me go up here. I'm gonna start with let me see who the first number. I'm gonna start with you, Kim.
Okay,
so
now repeat your question.
Yeah, because I didn't get it either.
Use what? A description word. Use a description word, or better yet, let me do it like this. Use a description sentence, a descriptive sentence to describe what you learned or what you got from 2021, and then use another description, a sentence, to describe what you hope to gain from 2021 or learn or have or whatever,
Y'all know my motto, first of all. So that's what I've learned throughout 2020. Trust your feelings. They falsify facts. Pay attention to the info. That is always that. Also about being accountable. Hold yourself accountable for you, for your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your energy. As far as going into any other year, any other month, day, week, it's gonna be the same thing, because those things are what causes change to happen continuously. Being accountable, sticking to the facts. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that cause things to change. So for me, it's gonna always be fuck your feelings. You know, it's always that, and hold yourself accountable. Be the solution. Quit talking about the problem. Be the solution on purpose, with purpose, all the time.
Kim, I said 2 sentences.
My bad. There was run-on sentences. There you go. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. So, Amarie, thank you very much, Kim. Amarie, you're next. 2 sentences, because we only got 6 minutes left.
It's okay.
Okay. As far as 2020, I would say understanding and gratitude. Even though 2020 was pretty bad for a lot of people, I did stay gainfully employed. I even had an opportunity to make even more money because of the people who were sick. And, so, I mean, and then it just makes you, it makes you grateful for what you do have. Because there's a lot of people who did a lot of suffering last year, and I'm just blessed that I did not have to go through any financial suffering. And for 2021, it's just humbleness, and I'm just looking forward to what's next. I'm not really sure. I know what I want. I know what I've prayed for, and, and I just feel like it's not up to me on the how. I know God will lead me, and that's how I feel about 2021.
Okay, awesome. All right. Misty, you're next, because I don't think Dr. Amarie is not on the line anymore. So, Misty, you're next.
I learned in 2020 to, always remain humble, and also Thanksgiving, because it could have been me and it wasn't. So I'm very thankful. Looking into 2021 is to become more prosperous and, to achieve my goals and to set the captives free, get them boundaries cut up off, them chains being broken.
There you go.
Okay. And then for me, I would say in 2021, I learned about, I think that it fortified how much God walks with us and how important relationships are, family, friends, those relationships, things that we take for granted. I learned not to take them for granted, because, tomorrow is truly not promised, and 2020 showed that, so I would guess that would be the thing, learning. It taught me about the importance of relationships. And in 2021, just, and also thanking God for providing, and for making a way, throughout the pandemic. And not still having my car, never having my lights off, never having not gas, not always having food, always having all my needs met. One where nothing has gotten shut off, nothing has got cut off. I haven't been without at all. So I thank God for that, because it could have been a different. And then as far as 2021, just learning to enjoy every day, one day at a time, not worry so much about future, but just learn to enjoy the present. I'm really trying to learn to enjoy the present and not have that fear of tomorrow or the depression of yesterday, but just enjoying the present. That's what I'm, one step at a time. So I really appreciate y'all. I have much love for y'all. Y'all know that, always and forever. And I just really hope that y'all awesome week, and so until next week, y'all, peace and love.
All right, love y'all. Have a blessed rest of the week.
Love you,
y'all.
white polo under the black light. Oh, party jump in the night, but we should be closer. Baby, come closer. Baby, come close. So I can grab fantasy. Baby, come close. Baby, come close. Baby, come closer. Now we in the spotlight, and everybody looking, but we could cannot put your arms around me. We making hearts stop. They tryna figure out why you got me on top. Oh no, no, that ain't your bad.